Welcome back, all my 40k fanatics out there. I'm DJ here with Tim's Nation to bring you another Warhammer 40k battle report. Once again, today we're joined by Lane. How you doing today, bud?
Good. How's it going?
Not too bad. Today we're taking a break from our Bedlam at the Bird prep to bring you this Battle of the Bots. Best of the bottom of the bucket, based on meta breakdowns and battles, basically bringing buckets of bolts and blight, brutally bashing for bragging rights before bouncing back to the Battle of the Beastly Bravery and beautifully built brigades for battle on this bright beige battlefield. Right, buddy?
Yeah, on the first try. Nice work. He gave me like 10 minutes to come up with a response that starts with B, and I failed. So you're just going to be stuck with that.
Bubbles and bananas.
Bubbles and bananas.
Bubbles and bananas. That's
Blunderbuss.
basically what we're doing. But with that being said, let's get over and introduce our bebops that we're going to be bringing today.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm bringing Deathguard. My Votan are not here today. So you're going to have to forgive me if I go through this a little bit slower. I don't get to play them too often. And what we're doing today is a Deathguard army. We've got the Poxmongers Plague Company. I'm just taking that because of the relic that gives out the better invuln save. So my HQ today is a Malignant Plague Caster. He's got Miasma of Pestilence and Gift of Plagues. His relic he's got is the Iron Clot Furnace. That gives, like we said, that gives a better invuln to one of the Demon Engine units in the command phase. And then, let's see here. I've got 3 units of Plague Marines. These guys are just here to do some actions and score some points. I tried running more Demon Engines and fewer Plague Marines, and I ended up not scoring any points. So today we're going to make sure that we've got some guys out there to put up banners or spread the sickness, something along those lines. These guys are all WYSIWYG. I've got some plasma guns, some power claws, some cleavers, some flails in there, a couple blight launchers mixed into the squads. I don't expect them to doing a whole lot other than just securing the backfield and doing some actions. Now, on to the main part of the list. We've got 6 fast attack choices here. We've got 3 of the Fetid Bloat Drones. These are all ones with flesh mowers. These are little conversions that I did on the flesh mower ones. And then we've got 3 units of 3 Myphitic Blight Haulers. That's 9 Myphitic Blight Haulers. These guys deploy as a unit of 3, and they stay that way throughout the entire game. Each one with a multi-melt and a missile launcher. So they shoot pretty good, and they do a decent little bit in close combat. And then I've got 2 Plague Burst Crawlers to round out the list. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, so today I'm going to be bringing my Lucius Ad Mech. You guys probably seen a couple times other on the channel. Made a couple modifications, but haven't played it for a little while, so I might be a little rusty, pun intended. And we are bringing the Lucius detachment. That means I get 1 damage weapons, give me +1 save when I'm hit by those, as well as I get +3 inch range to my weapons, as well as an awesome Warlord trait and a relic that we'll talk about shortly. So for starters, into my HQs and character slots, I have a Data Smith who is, I take him for free, doesn't count as a choice because I have Castle and Robots, more on them later. But he will have the relic for the Solar Flare, which is basically lets me pick up and redeploy a unit anywhere back on the field that's 9 inches away. That unit has to be core, and he gives the Castle and Robots core, so it's a nice little tandem for those guys. Moving over to the actual HQs, I have a Marshal. He has the Exemplar Eternity, which means that he will be able to give plus reroll hits and wound rolls of 1 to Skitarii core that are within range of him, as well as my Tech Priest Dominus, who is the Warlord trait of Luminous Blessings to basically give Transhuman to 1 core unit in my command phase. He is also of the Logi Holy Order, so he can give 1 core unit, ignore AP 1 and 2, and reduces a battle tactic stratagem by 1 command point. Moving over into my fast attacks, I'm taking 1 5-man squad of Dragoons. These guys are my babies. I absolutely love these models, love this unit, love the damage output that they can put out. Not sure how well they'll do in the Blight Haulers and the Death Guard, but still beautiful models, a lot of damage, a lot of dice. And into, I've talked about a couple times, my Castellan Robots. So my compulsory is going to be heavy for this, and to start that off, we're going to have a 5-man squad of Castellan Robots as well as a 4-man. The 4-man has the hand cannons as well as the shoulder cannon, while the 5-man has 3 guys with 2 fists, and then it has 2 additional guys that have the hand cannon and shoulder mounts, depending on how I need them, but it tends to be, with this matchup, I'll probably end up pulling the shooty guys first on that squad. Moving over to the rest of my heavies, I have 3 Onager Dune crawlers. They have the Icarus array, which is good against aircraft units, but outside of that, it's still 10 shots. They have a really wide base to give me a lot of good coverage, and at 100 points, these guys do great to keep and hold my backfield control. Over into my troops, I actually have 2 units of troops in this list. One is a 5-man squad of Cataphragm Breachers. They have a 2-up save and a toughness 5 and 3 wounds. A little bit of good shooting that can take on tanks. That's actually going to be helpful in this matchup, not so much for the damage reduction, but at least they might do well with them. They also have a close combat profile, so they're a little bit better than destroyers, and I think they won't do too bad. I haven't had too good of luck with them in the past, but I still want to give them a chance to shine, especially with them getting core standard now. The other squad of troops, you know them, you love them, or hate them. A 20-man squad of Rangers. With all the buffs in my army, these guys can be impossible to move for like 1 turn. They're able to help me for a lot of secondary games and just keep my army more or less going on the scoreboard. And they can put down a lot of firepower, especially with galvanic rifle stratagem. Going back to the old Codex way, they can get a lot more shots off of that, and we'll discuss that when it comes up. And finally, I have a 5-man squad of Skitchari Infiltrators. These guys can forward deploy. They allow me to play hidden Archaeovaults and other secondaries well, and just get some stuff outside of my deployment zone. And that's my AdMech.
All right, today we're playing Strike Force mission number 31 out of the Arcs of Omen Grand Tournament Pack, Tide of Conviction. We got 6 objectives on the field. This is hold 2, hold 3, hold more. Let's see here. Our tertiary, our bonus primary for this mission is if you control an objective at the end of your turn that is in your opponent's territory, not their deployment zone, but in their territory, basically they're half of the board. At the end of the turn, you get 2 points. And then at the end of the battle, you get 3 for each objective marker you control in the opponent's territory. Let's see here. And then if you don't control the objective marker in your deployment zone and your command phase, you have to roll a 4-up to get a CP.
All right, now before we get things started, we got a couple of things we need to cover. Number 1, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do turn on the bell for notifications. Like, share, and comment down below. I do read and try and respond to all the comments as quickly as I can, and they do help me decide on the other videos and other content that I bring to the channel. With that being said, as well, we need to go over our secondaries, including one very brutal thing that we just learned a couple seconds ago. So the secondaries that we're taking today, we're both doing Bring It Down, and we're going to come back to that in a second. Lane, what are the other 2 secondaries you're taking?
I'm also doing Raise the Banners. That's a good mission for that. And then I'm taking Warp Ritual, because you made fun of me last time because I never bring Psyker. So I have 1 Psyker in my army, 1 Malignant Plague Caster. So we'll see what happens.
It's all right, I got you, buddy. I can teach you how to Psychic
I'm
phase.
growing, I'm learning, I'm stretching, I'm trying new things.
For me, I'm going to be taking, as well with Bring It Down, I'm also going to be taking Hidden Archaeovault, as well as Eradication of Flesh, because of the vehicle units. Now, anyone who knows AdMech knows that there is a 3rd army-specific secondary that in this situation, with Lane's army, I should take. But to make this a little more fun and a little more interesting game, I decided not to. And that one is the Accretion, I believe it's pronounced Accretion of Knowledge. And it basically, at the end of the game, I score 3 points if I eliminate a unit that has a Warlord trait, has a relic, or is a vehicle over 8 wounds or more, which basically means I kill 5 Blight Haulers, I score 15. In a competitive setting, in a tournament, I'm sorry, Lane, I'm taking Accretion of Knowledge.
Well, you wouldn't, because I wouldn't bring this list to a tournament, so got you there.
Haha, you win. So that's fair. But we want this to be a little bit of a tighter game.
Right,
We want it to be more competitive, and we both have the ability to max out, Bring It Down. Because you have the Plague Burst Crawlers, you have 14 machines, and then the Plague Burst Crawlers are worth 2 points apiece.
Yeah, so you can score 16 as the max.
Right, and I have 17, meaning you could score 15 still as well. So I think that's going to lead to a more flavorful game, and this is something that you should discuss with your opponents, depending on what you're trying to do, what game you're trying to play. And I just don't think that would be, give me the auto 15 on something like that.
I mean, today's game is a little break from the super competitive grind. It's a break from getting ready for the GT next month. So
my Necron warriors are drying. I had to base them today, and they need a little bit of time to dry.
Glue's got to dry.
Yeah, they do. And the final robot, the final spider, is finished. That's right. I am bringing all of the new spider models for Bedlam at the Berg. But before we get back to that, let's decide where we're deploying today, sir. Odd or even?
Even.
And that is odd, just like me. So I will say you can deploy first.
Thank you, sir.
And now it's time to play the game.
Let's do it.
And we are deployed. So a couple things before we roll to see who goes first. Lane selected my hidden Archeo Vault to be objective marker number 3. So I'm going to have to do some work to get over there. Hopefully not too much work. Lane's just going to let me walk right in there.
You can have
15 on that easily. Yeah, exactly.
All for you, DJ.
So going over the Ad Mech deployment, kind of hiding a little bit. Want to move up on objectives and play the objective game. With this being a 6 objective game, it's really going to be easy to be able to take multiple objectives with a single unit and hold them throughout the game. The Dragoons I'm going to try and bring over on a flank and see if they can't just push through and try and move through with the direction of the terrain. Being that it's vehicles, we're going to have to kind of watch and see how we are able to move through stuff. My Infiltrator is deployed up front so that if I do go first, I can score an easy 5 on Hidden Archeo Vault on the first turn because I'm 8 inches away from both objectives. And that's really about it. A lot of my stuff comes into once I move, I can start opening stuff up. Datasmith being able to be in position for both Castle and Robot squads. So I'm able to get back there and teleport the unit, teleport the Rangers. He's in a good position to be able to do work once we determine who's going first and how the thing's going to go. As far as the Doom Crawlers over here, I'm not really, there's not a lot of defense for me on this side. So I'm just going to kind of put them there. Hopefully I can hold the objective just due to this giant open firing lane over here, and that hopefully Lane's not going to be able to progress through there too easily with where my Castle and Robots are. And that's about it for me. Lane, let's go over what you're doing.
Well, I'm just setting up my Plague Marines to go up and raise banners on turn 1. And I couldn't really hide everything. Got kind of a big footprint with some of this stuff. So the Blight Haulers are just out in the open, hopefully within range, so that if I go first, I can go shoot a few things before I get shot back. And then we've got the Malignant Plague Caster here ready to move up towards the middle if he can to get off Warp Ritual.
So is it safe to say we kind of both want to go first this game?
Yeah, I think it probably makes sense because we both can shoot each other quite a bit based on the way we're spread out here.
I think I'm a little more set to be able to handle that turn 2, but I definitely would like to go first. So, yeah, because I want to get out of my deployment zone. Like you said, you can shoot hard. You have those guys that are facing down over against my Dragoons. It's not exactly ideal. Even though I have some defense with them, I'd rather not have to use all my defensive buffs like that right off rip.
Yeah, if I go first, I can kill these guys, which...
Oh, yeah, if you go first, they're gone.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then I score 5. That's just kind of where their play is for this turn.
Yep.
And game. All right.
All right, let's see what happens.
All righty. Oh, that was awesome. All right, well, looks like you win, and you're going to get to go first. All righty, so we're finishing up the Death Guard movement phase, and it looks like Lane pulled one of the oldest tricks in the book. He moved forward. So the Blight, oh my gosh, what are they called? The Blight Crawler? Blight?
Would you like me to do the explanation?
Yeah, I always
for
mess up
all our
these guys'
18
names.
syllable. These are my Myphitic Blight Haulers. The drones are the fetid bloat drones, and then we've got the Plague Burst Crawlers, the big tanks. So yeah, my Myphitic Blight Haulers all moved up in their little
Otherwise
three-man
known
squads.
as Roombas, for those who often hear them talked about on the internet. These are the Roombas.
Yeah, little sweepers. Yeah, just move forward so they get shots off. Nothing's going to be in melter range. I moved the bloat drone up so they can get close to these guys and hopefully charge them and hopefully kill a bunch of them. Do they have an invuln or anything?
Yeah, 5 of them.
5 up invuln. Okay. So yeah, that's it. And then I'm putting banners up everywhere because I've got Plague Marines on all the objectives now. So banners, banners, banners.
Play some bananas. Alrighty, and now for the first time ever, documented, Lane has a psychic phase.
I'm gonna roll some psychic dice.
Nice. I think we'll what have you got that you're doing psychic powers on?
I'm not gonna push into the middle quite yet, just because you got some punchy robots. I want to stay back a little bit for a turn or two. I only need to do warp ritual 3 times, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna put miasma of pestilence onto these guys. I think it goes off on a 6. That's an 11.
Yeah, so that's definitely your first psychic power, and you pass it.
I went real hard on that first one. So there are miasma, so they're -1 to hit all the time. These guys, by the way,
Combat as well.
What's that?
Combat as well, or just shooting?
These guys are actually natively -1 to hit in combat. All of them. Yeah, and then now they're -1 to hit in shooting, and double -1 to hit in combat. So there's that. And then we will do.
So now, just real quick, yes. So now these guys are -2 to hit in combat. Although you can only get the -1 buff on it. If I were to have something that gives me +1 to hit, that's when the -2 actually becomes a factor, because it's now we have to do that math. So it's something that had +1 to hit versus his -2, he would still be able to gain the benefit of -1, even though he would only actually gain -1 to hit, or minus or +1 to hit. So it's kind of a little bit of a trickery way there. It's like, so the -2 does still matter later into the game.
Yeah. And that's it. I can't see anything close enough to do a smite because I can't see these guys.
Correct.
And then the other one just extends my contagion range, which is not relevant at this point. So that's it.
All right, to the shooting. All right, so finishing up the Death Guard shooting phase. This Dune Crawler back here got beat up real nice and good. Dropped down to 1 wound thanks to these
my Fennec Blight Haulers. DJ, just let me do it.
Yeah, I'm just going to pause every time and you can go into it.
Yeah.
Robots, I did take 4 damage into the robot, but nicely, I was able to do 1 mortal wound to this little
Bounced
robot
one back
here.
on me.
Yep, we got to love the repulsor field and how that functions. The Plague Burst Crawlers and the Bloat Drones, or the, say it.
My Fennec Blight Haulers.
Thank you. Took out quite 2 of the Dragoons and beat up another one, dropping them down to 3. So not too terrible on both sides of it. One, there was efficient damage output, as well as I didn't completely get the squad wiped. So the only thing left right now is the fight phase.
Charge. I think I probably need a 4.
Now, what does he get, like 10 attacks?
12.
12 attacks? And that's because of that the mower on the front, right?
Yeah, it's the flesh mower.
1 damage apiece?
2 damage apiece.
Ooh, that's
it's
brutal.
real strong.
Yeah,
it's great for picking up marine profiles.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. I need a 4. It's a 6.
That's a 6. So he's going to get in there, and that's going to be 12 attacks.
Oh, so I can... You don't have anybody on this objective yet, or is there somebody in there that's on it?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So
but it won't matter because it's turn 1.
It matters for my bonus primary.
It matters for your bonus primary. Fair enough. Fair enough. All righty. So we'll see. We'll be back after this resolves.
All right. So the Fetid Bloat Drone was able to get in here and picked up the 5. I don't know what yours are called now.
Infiltrators. Yeah, mine are simple.
Infiltrators. So he was able to pick those up down to the wound. DJ tried real hard to make some 5-up invulns, but it killed all 5 of them, and then we just piled in a little bit. So I get the tertiary, the bonus primary, because I hold an objective in DJ's territory, and he doesn't have anything back there on it yet. And then I just get 2 points for bringing it down because I picked 2 of the chicken walkers up.
Dragoons.
Chicken walker.
All righty. Now let's see what AdMech can do in return. All right, so finishing up the AdMech shooting phase, or movement phase, haven't shot yet. The Dune Crawler that was beaten up just advanced and ran back in the corner. Maybe I'll try and repair him. Maybe he'll just hold that objective from behind the wall. Breachers moved up. Robots teleported at the end of the turn off of the solar flare. They're also currently ignoring AP 1 and 2 and are transhuman. The Castellans, I did binaric override these ones back here. So they're not going to be able to move for the rest of the game, but now they're on a 3 ballistic skill. I got to make one small adjustment here with the Data Smith. He's going to magically move a little bit just so he's within 6 inches of those guys to give them reroll 1s. Dragoons came around the corner to fight the Dune Crawler, and then my Rangers just moved up to take the objective for objective secured. So, or fight the Dune Crawler, fight the floated Bloat Drone. Yeah, see, I'm just going to start fighting my own guys for you.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
All right, so
this
it's time to. Yeah, I bet it does. So time to shoot some guns. So not a great shooting phase. Lane had a nice little strat that he used on these guys to make it that it reduced all of my shots by 1. And since he was -1 to hit off miasma, I wasn't able to really do a lot of damage to them. I probably should have went into a different target, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I should have just gone to a different target. Should have shot these ones over here that were not on any of the negatives and tried to hit them because they were within range and line of sight, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's okay. We'll live. We'll live. I did 2 damage in there. You know, not that my guns were really that great going in there. Over here, though, Mr. June Crawler went crazy and just obliterated one of the Roombas and finished it off with a stubber, nonetheless.
A stubber, 2 wounds from a stubber, not just the last one, 2 of them.
So over here, I probably should have, in hindsight, I probably should have just shot more shots into the other squad of drones that didn't get the buff because you had to do that at the beginning of the shooting phase.
I have to declare it before you start shooting.
Yeah, so probably better. But now we're going to spend a command point and binaric override in the shooting phase because I did it before in the assault phase. And I'm going to use my Logi Discipline that I forgot to do before to make this cost 0. So it'll be 0 command points to give these guys now are going to go into the combat profile. So my Catacomb of Amasaiah for this turn gives me 3d6 to pick the 2 highest when I charge. And I will use that as well as the fact that now I get to re-roll the charge. And I'm going to be hitting on 2s in close combat. So we'll
be hitting on 3s.
Yeah. Stop being right on things.
I'm hard to hit.
Yes, you are. Even though you're giant and not really that fast. I mean, they can't be that quick.
It's not because we're fast. It's because we smell bad. We've got clouds of noxious fumes coming up.
I'm a robot. I don't smell. All right. So we'll see how that resolves. And the Dragoons are going to charge in over here as well. All right. So the Dragoons, on their successful charge, were able to drop the mower down to 2 wounds remaining. Good amount of damage. I did spend a command point for them to get exploding 5s and 6s. So I wanted to make sure that we did the damage. We did the thing with the thing. And now over here, the robots made their charge successfully to tie up both of these guys. And we're going to see if they can't pick up a little damage, since, especially because the robots, the Castellans, have 3 damage on their fists. So they'll actually be able to reduce some damage against these reducing damage by 1 guys. So let's talk to me a little bit about their defensive profiles.
They're just toughness 7, 5 up involves. These ones are -2 to hit because they're natively -1 to hit, and I've got miasma on them. So, but both squads are -1 to hit. So
we're going to go after the squad that's already got some damage on it because I want to try and pick some of those up. And here's coming from the robots. So we got 5 attacks apiece from the fists. They're hitting on 2s, -1, so they'll be hitting on 3s. No rerolls. And we are strength 10. So we'll be wounding you on 3s. And going right there. They have inbones, right? I think
5 ups.
All right. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Need 4 up involved?
5 up involved.
5 up involved. 5 up involved.
Right. 5s. Okay, looks like I only stopped 2 of them. Now these are 3 damage apiece.
So they get reduced down to 2.
They're reduced to 2.
So the first 3 will finish off. Oh, you got feel no pains.
No.
No.
So it takes 3 to finish off 1 guy. And the next guy takes 4. So that's 8 damage. So he's got 1 left.
All right. So we still do have the robots in the back that can still smack you.
With their bare hands. Or their gun fists.
Yeah, I was going to say, their hands are not there. And their hands hit home twice. And that guy's got 1 wound left.
He's got 1 wound left.
Oh, man. No AP. No AP.
3.
Yeah. Picks him up.
It explodes on you, though, for 1 mortal.
Oh, well.
It doesn't hurt me. The explosions don't hurt Nurgle units, but they hurt you.
All right. All right. So finish off the turn. Not too high scored of a turn, but that's okay. So I didn't get anything for Hidden Archaeovault because I wasn't able to get in there and take the objective. He's got these OBSEC Plague Marines hanging out back there, Ad Mech there reading a book. But for Bring It Down, I did score 3 points because I picked up the 2 Blight Haulers over here. And I picked up that one with the stubber, I believe it was. Wasn't it
The stubber?
Wasn't it a
Yes,
stubber?
the stubber that cleaned the last 2 wounds off. Yes.
So that, I mean, I'll get the 2 point or the 3 points for that. I didn't get eradication of flesh either because my vehicle units didn't actually finish up or pick anything off, and I didn't score any for the other mission primary. But that's okay. 3 blight haulers off the field. I'll take that. That's a good start, and we'll move over into the Death Guard turn 2. All right. So the Plague Marines have finished their movement phase. First, Lane, you did score 8 on your primary and 3 on banners.
Correct.
And what are we looking at? What are you doing here? It looks like you're trying to go for that warp ritual now.
Yeah, start scoring some warp ritual. I want to start blowing some stuff up too. Hopefully we can kill a few of these robots by shooting into combat, and hopefully you don't bounce too many mortal wounds back on me from that. Also moved up these blight haulers so they're in melter range of the chicken walkers, and moved up both of my plague burst crawlers just so they can get, protect the malignant plague caster while he's going into near the center there and to get some shots on things.
Alrighty, so now we're going to go over to the shooting. Oh no, wait. Lane has a psychic phase.
I have a psychic phase. I'm just going to warp ritual. I just need a 4. Oh, good. I got a 4. Exactly. I think I get extra points, right? When I get exactly the number?
No, it's when you...
I don't know how psychic phases work, so you'll have to correct me.
No, the psychic interrogation... Actually, I know you were just joking, but psychic interrogation, if you beat my leadership with that, you gain a command point.
Yeah.
So, all right, time for these some Nurgle shooting. So as I pan across the battlefield, Lane, why don't you tell me about the strat you used on these 3 blight haulers, and go.
Okay, you thought you were going to catch me, and I wasn't going to know the name of that strat, but I do. It's called Bilous Rush. It's specific to the Poxmongers faction of Death Guard. Death Guard already do not take a penalty to shoot with their vehicles when they're in engagement range. This strat gives them +1 and also lets +1 to hit, and also lets the blast weapons fire. So shooting into combat, I was able to pick up 2 of those Castellan robots. Was hoping to get into the power fist ones, but we at least got 2 of them taken care of. And then on the rest of the field, we used the mortars because they have indirect fire to pick off that dune crawler that just had 1 wound left. Shot a few melta shots from the Myphetic blight haulers into the dragoons, and was able to take 1 of them out and also get 1 down to 1 wound left. And then between the crack missiles and the entropy cannons, here we're able to pick up that dune crawler over there. I think that's it. Now it's time for a little bit of charging.
All right. So the only charge that we had was this nice little mower who decided he's going to try and take out some of these dragoons over here. So let's talk a little bit about what he's got going on in combat over here.
Well, the bloat drone with the flesh mower is going to get 12 attacks, but you're -1 to hit. So it's all going to come down to the hits. You got 1 of those guys down to 1 wound, so I should be able to pick him up pretty easy. But then I would need to get 3 more wounds through because they're 2 damage apiece to get the other one. So I don't think I'll get both of them. I'm guessing I get 1 and do a couple points of damage to the other one, but we'll see. Here we go. Now, this is where it really makes the difference right here. So I need 4. All right.
Ooh, that looks very good for me.
Not a great start.
No.
Not a great start. And then I need 3s.
T6.
Yeah. Plague weapons I reduced by 1. So you got 3 at -2, 2 damage apiece.
All right, -2. You have 2 damage, so we're going to be on a 5-0. For epic proportions, let's see it. First one, looking for a 5.
No, look at that.
Saves it, looking for a 5. Oh, nope, and then that guy's going to die. And then the last one. Oh, yeah, so does he explode? No, he doesn't explode. All right, so scanning across the field, I was able to drop this last little Roomba down to 1 wound, but didn't finish him off.
You split fire, sir. You split your attacks.
I had to try to clear that. But even so, with the damage I did, you would have just saved it, and I would have probably been in that same situation that I am now. But that's okay. And then over here, Mr. Dragoon was able to do 2 wounds back as his buddy lost. So, Lane, why don't you talk to me about your scoring and what you scored out of this turn?
Well, bring it down. We scored 8 points this turn because each of the onagers that we picked up are 2 points apiece because they're more than 10 wounds. And then a couple dragoons and a couple robots to add on to that. So, yeah, 8 there. And then we pulled off Warp Ritual and got 3 points for banners at the beginning of the turn because because we've got 3 banners up. So feeling pretty good.
Yeah, big Death Guard turn. Let's see if the AdMech can answer back in kind. The Rangers have come out to play. We're going to try and see if we can't answer back now and get some guns on some stuff, since our shooting has not been that great right now. The high toughness of the different Death Guard units has made it kind of rough on me, so we'll see if we can't make some stuff happen. Right now, for eradication of flesh purposes, I need to eliminate 3 units with vehicle units. So that's kind of important that I have to do it with vehicle units. And we'll see what we can have go on here. Moved up the breachers to see if I can't pick on those Plague Marines and maybe pick on this Plague Burst Crawler a little bit. A lot of it's going to be picking on stuff. Hopefully I can pick up these 2 the Flesh Mowers.
Mom, DJ's picking on me.
I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on your army. So we'll see what we can have happen. I got the breachers with some arc rifle and corrosion cannon, so we'll get to actually, hopefully those will do some work and do some damage, and well, we'll see how this plays out. All right, so finishing off the AdMech shooting phase, a lot of damage, but not a lot of scoring damage. So in combat, the robots were able to pick up the 1 Blight Hull they were in combat with, and these guys did do a little bit of damage to them, dropping the the Plague Burst Crawler down to 10 wounds. We finally finished up the drone in the middle. Of course, not with the Dune Crawler.
Not with the Dune Crawler. He whiffed. He only did 1 wound.
No. It was the Rangers. The Rangers went nuts. Split firing did a lot of damage out here, dropping the Plague Burst Crawler down to 3 wounds, dropping the Flesh Mower down to 3 wounds.
That's because you got 5 wounds on the Plague Burst Crawler, and I failed all 5 4-up saves.
He left his armor at home right there. So it didn't go too terrible. Now we're going to go into the fight phase, and we're going to try and lock down some charges. I'm going to try and charge the Marines that are behind that wall with my breachers. They're going to breach because, it's in their name. And then I actually think I'm going to charge the Flesh Mower with these Rangers just on sheer volume and try and pick off those last 3 wounds. So we'll let that happen. All right, concluding the AdMech turn. So we were able to pick up 1 more of the Roombas over here and do some damage to the other guy with the robots. The Breachers did their namesake and were able to pick up the Plague Marines, but there is still a bloat drone hanging out in there. So we'll see if he's probably not too happy that I got rid of his friends. And then the Rangers may have been a bad play. They dropped the drone down to 1 wound, but they're going to get super defensive next turn. So hopefully that'll help.
Did you pick up your 1 Ranger that I killed?
No, I didn't pick up your 1
Take
Ranger.
him away, sir.
And I didn't pile in either. So, all right. Well, that's going to be that. So I did get, however, that hidden Archeo Vault for 5. That's a big hit there for 5 points. I did score 3 on Bring It Down. And I got 2 points for the mission primary. So let's go ahead and start turn 3 for Lane and the Death Guard. All right, Lane, you got a lot going on here. You want to walk us through some of it?
I'm just lining up shots here. I want to take care of this chicken walker, that Dragoon. I also want to blow up that Onager. I also want to blow up the Breachers. I also want to blow up those robots. I don't think it's all going to happen this turn, but we're going for it. We're going to put a little target redundancy on here. This Plague Burst Crawler, even though he's down to 3 wounds, he's actually still at mid-bracket. I just checked the book, so 3 up is still mid-bracket. So I might be able to do some work there. I wanted to throw some mortars into your character hiding back there, but I might not do that this turn. We'll see how the shooting goes.
Yeah, the character he's talking about, I got the data smith that teleported early in the game. There he is, peekaboo. He's still hanging out back there and giving me that objective because this is not a sticky objective mission, so I can't just completely walk away from it. Alrighty, so we're going to be moving over to that psychic phase. You're going to try and warp ritual me again?
Yeah, I wanted to move him a little bit so he's not the closest.
Judge.
Okay.
Judge.
I'm the judge today, so it looks like a good move.
So you allow it?
Yeah, warp ritual 4 up. That's a 5. So we're good on warp ritual.
But it was a 5, yes. All right, and now we're going to get some shoots. All right, finishing off the Death Guard shooting phase. We lost 1 Castellan robot to the Roombas. Their shooting did pretty well again. Took out 1 of them. Over here, we lost 2 out of the 5 of the Breachers from A lot from the what it was the Plague
Plague Burst
Marines,
Crawler.
Plague Burst Crawler.
Plague Marines did a little bit of plasma damage, I think.
Right. And the Dragoons finally bit the dust to the fire of the Roombas over here.
Now, I started my shooting phase here with 3 wounds on this Plague Burst Crawler, and I always got 1 because I shot those robots, and they made a 6 on one of their invulns and bounced the wound back. And when I killed this Dragoon, it exploded. So yeah, I've done some damage to myself this turn.
I was laughing. I was like, I'm like, you going to lose this Plague Burst Crawler in your turn to shoot
Almost.
it? Almost. The Doom Crawler, the last one, also took 2 wounds off of the crack missiles that shot from the Roombas downfield. Now all that's left is the fight phase. Where are we going with these? Where are you going with these charges?
I'm going to have these Plague Marines charge in, Bloat Drone charge in. I'm going to charge there. Probably going to charge there with them too.
All right. All right, resolving the Death Guard turn. Or the combat step before we finish off the turn. So the robots were able to punch another one of the Blight Haulers and drop this one down to 7. They're clearing them, just not that fast. The combination of Plague Marines and Flesh Mower were able to take out the Breachers. I can remember my own guys' names. I can't. All these different names are just messing with me today. My brain is fried. So Breachers are dead. And then over here, the Rangers, Mr. Arkmaul, was able to finally finish off the. Oh no, he failed. It was the Rangers that did it.
Yeah, the Arkmaul failed. I made a 6 up or 5 up invuln.
And we weren't able to put that final wound onto the Plague Burst Crawler, but that's okay. So Lane, what did you score for your finish out for your turn scoring?
Not a whole lot this turn. I did take this objective back, which was important for future primaries, but I just killed 2 vehicles. So 2 points for bring it down. And that's really it.
I killed 2 vehicles too as well.
Yeah, he killed 2 vehicles.
Hooray. All right, now it's time for Mechanicus to answer back. All right, so real quick AdMech turn, or for movement phase. Just drop the Rangers back. I didn't want to keep them in combat. I can hopefully finish off that Plague Burst Crawler with my Castle and Robots on the objective marker, and drop the Doom Crawler back to protect my servitor, my Datasmith, so that he doesn't get shot at by mortars. And we're going to go right into the shooting phase and see if we can't do a little bit of damage here. All right, real fast turn for AdMech. We kind of just rolled it all into one because there wasn't very much. After I fell back with the Rangers to get out of combat, the Castle and Robots shot and finished off the Plague Burst Crawler, which is where that little green dice is. That's that one that was left with 1 wound left. And then over here, we put some shots onto this drone with the Doom Crawler. Not too much going on over there. And then the robots finished off the Roomba that was hanging out over here and started to move up on the objective. But there is still these Plague Marines hanging out back here that are objective secured. I won't get the Hidden Archeo Vault this turn. However, I did get Eradication of Flesh because I destroyed more units with vehicles than my opponent had. And yeah, that's about it. I will also score 5 for the bring it down for the turn. So now Lane will do his turn 4, and we'll see how he can answer back. This one's probably going to hurt. So the Roombas move up, and you're going to try and get... Lane's talking me through it. He's going to try and get some shots down at my last Castle and Robots from my Punchy Squad. And then the drone flies over. I don't know what he's planning on doing. I think he's just hanging out there. He's just going to sit there.
He's going to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, with that Doom Crawler.
Yeah, have some fun.
Anything else? Anything else really crazy in note?
No. I was considering moving around here to shoot that way and touching the terrain, but I think I'm going to wait on that. I'm just going to try and clear this side of the board off a little bit more and just keep these Rangers tied up. So the Blight Haulers are here so they can shoot through the terrain because they're touching it, and then charge the Rangers just to keep them from shooting me next turn.
Awesome. All right. Well, it looks like you got some shooting to do, my friend. All right, resolving the Death Guard shooting phase. We got pretty buffed and pretty defensive over here. The Castle and Robots bounced 2 wounds back to the Roombas with that repulsor field.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it. One was a command point reroll because I tried to keep the last robot alive. And then my last robot died, blew up, and I think that was the only damage that got taken to this robot was being blown up. So now we're going to go into the combat phase and see the charge phase and see what Lane can do with this last robot here and also that doom crawler that's looming around on that objective. All right, so finishing out the Death Guard turn. I flubbed up over here. I should have spent the command point with my little data smith to make this the floated blow drone fight last. Unfortunately, I forgot about that and didn't. And the drone just ripped him to shreds because with his power fist, he could have possibly taken that guy out, as well as Electros. There's a little spike strat that does mortal wounds. Over here, the power fist was able to drop my robot down to 2 wounds, and my power fist was able to drop it down to 1 model. So that one not too bad. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish them off and just get my hidden Archeo Vault with these. And then over here, basically, it was just running into a wall of Rangers. Rangers didn't really, I think I lost 1 guy there, and turn around, just the Arc Maul is the only thing really doing any work over here. So Lane, talk to me a little bit about your scoring, what you get for the turn.
Not much. Did I kill any vehicles?
You finished off that 1 in the robots, and I think that was it.
What, I pick up 2 robots?
1. There was only 1 left because it was just there was 2 left.
Yeah.
And you
So
got
just 1 for that. I was going to go for this Dune Crawler, but when you heroiced into me, I decided to
you had to
kill the character. That way, now we contest the objective. So shut down your primary a little bit there because you're going to score big
4
here.
on primary.
Yeah,
but now we're going to try and push back during my turn and see if I can't score big on some secondaries. Once again, not a whole lot for the movement phase. We're kind of settled into some really good objectives and positions. The Rangers fell back. The Dominus moved up. He's going to try and put a couple shots onto this PVC and see if we can't do a little bit of damage to it. Not that it matters that much. And stayed in combat over here. We're going to shoot into combat and see if we can't get ourselves out of combat and move on from there. So finishing out the turn, Castling Robot was able to take out the Plague Marine so that he was able to hold this, take this for hidden Archeo Vault. But what was really adorable of the turn, notice how the 2 vehicles are missing here. So the Flesh Mower blew up the Doom Crawler, literally, and he exploded and took the Flesh Mower with him. So you know what? You don't want me to have the objective. I don't want you to have the objective.
No one has the objective.
None of us can have nice things. And then over here, I used the little, I took the Dominus. He has a 3-shot gun. That's 6 to wound, deal 2 mortal wounds, and that's really what it's great for. But it's 0 AP. So he shot this beautiful little gun right at this Plague Burst Crawler. And he did 1 wound to it the normal way, not with the mortal ways. Couldn't do. So I'm going to finish out the turn. I was able to kill... I did kill more units with vehicle units, yes, 1 and 2, because the Flesh Mower that died to my explosion.
If that counts as
that, we're gonna have to look up. That I'm gonna have to take a second and look up because I killed it with the explosion, not with a shooting attack or a combat attack.
Well, in my turn, I killed your character, and then I killed him. So I killed 2.
But he's not a vehicle. It's specifically vehicle units for eradication.
I have to kill it. Okay.
Yeah. It's if I kill more units with vehicles, then you kill vehicle units.
Okay.
But I will get the 5 points on Hidden Archeo Vault.
Mm-hmm.
And I will score 2 points for the mission primary boost. And yeah. And then some bring it down points. 1 bring it down point. Yeah. Just 1 bring it down point.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Lane. It looks like it's going to be your turn 5. Okay, so we're finishing out the Death Guard turn 5, and it was a couple things happened. Lane, why don't you talk us through some stuff that happened this turn?
Not a whole lot. I killed this robot here, so I took that objective back because I advanced my my Plague Caster over here so that he could be on that objective. So I took that objective back. And that's about it, really.
Charge the Rangers.
Yeah, charge the Rangers so they couldn't shoot me this turn, and that's it.
Yeah, I was able to finish off one of the Roombas with with just the sheer volume of dice and the arc ball that's hanging out in there. But that's about it. So, Lane, any last points you score out of this turn?
No, I maxed out. I just got my banners, so I'm up to 9 for banners. End of game, I'll get 2 more banners. So I'll have 11 on banners.
All right. So we'll go into the final AdMech turn. So literally nothing happened for my turn. I moved the Rangers back just so I could take a couple shots into this guy. Probably could have left him in combat, but still, the 9 wounds, it would have been tough to take him out. Wasn't really anywhere else I could go to score any extra points. So really, it's just going to be the 4 points on primary that I score at the end of the turn. So really, really interesting game, really tight. And we'll be back with the final score. All right. Final score, AdMech 69.
Nice. deathguard 74.
So before we get into like recap and talk about some of the stuff of the battle, there is one asterisk on this game. So that's why I have the book for this one, because I want to see what other people feel about this. Eradication of Flesh for Adeptus Mechanicus. At the end of the battle round, score 4 victory points if an enemy unit was destroyed by an Adeptus Mechanicus vehicle unit from your army this battle round. Then the number of Adeptus Mechanicus vehicle units from your army that were destroyed this battle round. Now, the thing is, I blew up. And the explosion...
And you did it on purpose.
I did it on purpose. And the explosion was what actually took out your...
last flesh mower.
Right.
Bloke drone.
So, does that count? I feel like, and I mean, granted, I'm going to be biased because I'm playing it, but I feel like, yes, the vehicle did die as a result of I destroyed the vehicle. I blew up. I destroyed it. I think it's going to come down to, this is one of those situations where you have to call a TO on it.
Yeah, because a lot of times when there are these destroy things, they a lot of times just say if a vehicle was destroyed, if a model was destroyed.
Or it'll say as the result of a shooting attack.
Yeah.
As a result of a combat attack.
Right. And so
this is not one of those scenarios that just says destroyed. So it's kind of it's a little bit of a gray area. I feel like there is room to believe that this could be a yes.
Yeah, I initially think no, but I certainly see the argument for saying yes.
Right.
It's not a hard no. It's not, how dare you say yes? It's
exactly.
Definitely a question for the TO. Yeah.
But needless to say, Lane, how did it feel to get the Death Guard out here today?
No, it was a lot of fun. I like using them.
It's a beautiful army, man.
Oh, thank you. There's a lot of durability tricks with them to kind of make them. I really tanked a lot of shooting that for your turn 1. I was able to, I think I lost 1 blight hauler. Maybe that's it from all your shooting.
Speaking of taking a lot of shooting, how did it feel taking all those bounce shots?
Oh, yeah. How many did I take throughout this game? 4?
I have no idea.
3
I know
or
there
4.
was, dude, it might have been more than that. Might have been more than that because there was just every once in a like, oh, take a 6, take a damage. I'm thinking if I go back and count, I think it'd be like 5 or 6. Maybe someone in the comments section can let us know.
Tally it up for us.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Silly little ability. Yeah, man, that toughness, though, the resilience of the Death Guard, man, I could not push through you.
Well, and your army has a lot of 2 damage attacks, and me reducing it had a huge effect on that, too. It's the same problem I have when I play my Votan. I have a lot of 2 damage attacks. When I go into Death Guard, it really reduces my effectiveness there. So
Right.
Similar thing here.
Right, so yeah, no, all in all, like, this was more to take a break from all the competitiveness that we've been playing through and just throw some guys on the table, throw some robots on the table. I still would need a lot more cleanup for my list to get it to a point of it, but this was a battle of the bots. So now let's go back to what one of the things that we were talking about before the game are the third of the AdMech secondaries, which would have been an auto 15. So this game, you got me by 5. And
you would have taken that instead of bring it down, right?
I would have taken that instead of bring it down.
Yeah, yes. You scored a 13 on bring it down.
So I would have gotten 2 more points. Yeah. So it wouldn't have been the win. Would have put me at a 71. But, in that sense. So not totally there. Wouldn't have changed much of my play because I had to keep pushing things away and stuff like that.
But obviously, if this was a list where it was not just bringing all the vehicles, it would have been great into a lot of these 9-wound vehicals because you could, like I said, you only need to kill 5 of them to max it out. So yeah.
The only difference I would have liked to do with this is if I had we kind of threw this together not last minute, but how it was built up with it. The only thing I would do differently in the future with this list is I probably would have tried to match your Plague Burst crawlers with some of the Scorpius tanks. Bring some of my artillery just to
because you have some indirect fire, and I was definitely hiding some Plague Marines back in terrain all day. So that ability to reach out and poke somebody without being able to see them would be handy in this game.
I definitely would, when we get some time, to do this again, I think that a rematch is in order, and we'll try to. I think we could probably mirror each other's list pretty close. Like I could take the robot, like with the robots and everything, comparably, and as I said, I can take my Scorpius disintegrator tanks, which have artillery as well. Not quite as resilient and mean as the PVCs, but hey, it's something. So hope you guys enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun playing it. Lane, did you enjoy this as well?
Oh yeah, it was great. A lot of fun.
I mean, I always enjoy bouncing bullets back. It's one of the silliest rules. I hope that in the future iterations that still happens. But yeah, no, hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.